Hey, welcome to another installment of Catching Up. I'm Sam.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jim.
And this week, we have an interview. No, we don't.
Oh, got you, you sons of bitches.
But thanks for listening.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Good night, everybody. But I think it was important for us to just make an episode like we used to, the original Power Trio. Eggshells and all that.
Yes.
Eggshells?
Yes, eggshells. Eggshells in the highest. But yeah, so what you guys been up to? You guys saw a movie.
We did. We might have mentioned. We might have mentioned.
Oh,
this.
so they're gonna pay you when you hit the age of 65.
Yes.
About time.
When the Red Band trailer came out, I think I had all the Geek Out boys watch it, and we freaked out about it, and we finally saw the movie called Upgrade. Chris and I saw it in the pouring rain.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great because the best compliment I can give it is I told Chris afterwards, I felt like we got transported to like 1988 to some random movie theater that was playing a one-off movie for one night, one showtime, because it was a small little indie movie.
Like in Walla Walla, Washington?
Yes, in Walla Walla, Washington. Super, just again, it's kind of all the things I love in movies, or, a lot of the things I love about movies, the ultra-violence, it's insane. It's super bold. The trailer, it's great too because the trailer it gives you a very basic idea of the movie, but there's still a lot. Like, if you've seen the Red Band trailer, you'll be fine because there's plenty more stuff that happens in the movie. I mean, it's not like it's a long movie, but there's a lot more detail to things, and the plot goes kind of some interesting places. But I thought it was just a freaking great movie. Is it Blumhouse? The people who made it,
Yes.
Dude, they're making some interesting ass movies, man.
The new Halloween,
new Spawn.
They have all of the Purges.
The Purge movies.
Get Out.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, they're one of those ones now. Like, if I see that production logo on there, like, I'll check it out, man. Like I was telling Chris, I'll have to watch Happy Death Day because, I mean,
very, very good.
They
all
make
the best like horror camp.
Yeah, they make just some really interesting stuff. And this movie is, again, it's not just some sci-fi action movie. There's some really interesting things that go on there. I know I'm being vague because I don't want to spoil it for people because you should go out and see it. Like,
yes.
It's just fucking great.
The movie is not afraid to kind of go like, oh, you thought this was going to happen? This is going to happen.
Yeah.
Which is great. I love it when that kind of thing is well executed.
Yes. It's not doing it just to say fuck you.
Yeah.
But it is also still saying kind of fuck you, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I know, Chris, you were talking a lot when we left the theater about how much you love the camera work in it.
Yeah, there's a lot of like really well choreographed camera work, specifically in the action scenes. And if you've seen even the non-Red Band trailer, you've seen some of it where like the camera follows the main character's body as opposed to like just kind of like panning left or right. It'll actually like kind of wiggle or like, do a flip when he does a flip. But specifically the thing that really got me. So the basic storyline is that a guy becomes a quadriplegic and as part of like an experimental surgery gets a computer chip installed, for lack of a better word, at the base of his neck to help him regain control of his limbs. And one of the first times you follow him walking, it's shot from the back. You see his scar from the surgery, and the camera like focuses on that scar, and like that is like the center of the screen, and as if the camera is attached to his body. Which it probably is. Mm-hmm. That's how I would have shot it. As he kind of bobs as he's walking, you see the background bobbing, but he stays in the exact same place in the frame.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really effective. And they every time they did something like that, like when the camera follows him during his fight scenes, it always kind of hints that it's focusing on that scar, as if to say this is a scene where the chip is in complete control of his body.
Yeah.
And like that was very good for the narrative because, the later shortly later you find out that the chip has like its own AI and it's able to communicate with him, and you see that in the trailer.
Yep.
So like the fact that it has its own intelligence, and the camera is helping explain that it is, in control, just like how it's talking, it's explaining that it's in control of certain things. It just beautifully seamed together in the narrative.
Yeah, and the way, another thing that really helps that too is excuse me, Logan Marshall Green's like movements.
Mm-hmm.
He does a really cool thing where whenever Stem powers him up, the way he stands up, it's almost like his chest and like it's that is leading first, and then he kind of charges up,
like almost like a RoboCop stance.
Yeah, and also the fight scenes. I mean, it's amazing because he's able to
his limb control.
Yeah, the way he fight, like, because again, he's not really in control when he allows Stem to take over and kick serious ass. But like some just amazingly well done fight sequences. And
from the best that I could tell, all like practical.
Yeah, which is even better,
or as practical as it could be.
Sure, yeah.
I'm sure there was a little sprinkling of CGI here all over the place, but like a lot of it was actual fighting.
But the way he can look like he's not in control while he's doing everything,
like
that can't be easy.
Yeah, like the kitchen scene that is like the main focus of the trailer. It just that look on his face, like the terror, the sheer terror that he's like, oh my god, I'm kicking the shit out of this dude. Like, it's
and then
beautiful.
the moment where the character in that kitchen scene is killed, like we saw it in the trailer, the Red Band trailer and stuff, but like people in the audience, either they didn't know, they forgot, or it didn't matter, because when they did it in the theater, it was awesome because there was such a reaction.
Yeah,
such a huge reaction. It wasn't just people going, oh shit, like there's silence after it happens. You just sit there with his dead body and the main character, and people were just like murmuring, oh, even shit, are you kidding? Oh my shit.
Even like I noticed that with me, like I was just like, whoa! And I was like, I've seen that trailer like a dozen times, but like it's bigger because it's on the big screen, it's louder. And I also think that they held on it for like, a couple frames longer.
They show off the effect.
Yeah, you see more of it in the movie versus even in the Red Band trailer. So like, it was definitely like, I got the full effect of that. The Reggie and the full effect.
Yes. Also,
they're a band.
I wanted to get the guy's name. Jed Palmer did the music.
Yeah.
The music was fucking awesome.
Oh, it was wonderful.
Just this awesome synthy, atmospheric,
kind of 80s.
Oh, it's totally. Just everything about it was just so fucking great. Really, really cool movie.
Was it TriStar No, it was Orion that did RoboCop.
Yes.
Yeah. So it kind of has that kind of feel.
Oh yeah. You can't help but like have a RoboCop vibe to it, and just other there's you get like, I think when they go into this more dirty city landscape stuff and they get to more of like the cybernetic stuff, of course you get like tiny hints of like Blade Runner stuff, and just I don't know, just all the great kind of sci-fi stuff's there. Just it's fucking awesome.
Tailor made for VHS.
Yeah, they should. Someone will make like the VHS covers or whatever for it and stuff. Oh
yeah, right on. And you guys have been listening to the new Ghost album.
See,
that means yes.
Yeah.
No,
for
thank
real.
You very much.
For real though, it's like I think the last time I was this in love with an album, from start to finish, like
the last Ghost album
was Britney Spears' "Baby One More Time."
No. For I mean, I really liked the last Ghost album a lot. Like, but in terms of pushing the envelope of Ghost sound and genres in general, we talked about it last episode about like a lot of people they're like, what is Ghost? And this album,
why is Ghost?
This album is like, Ghost is Ghost. No, it's just, I don't know, man. It's incredible. I talked to Sam about this one review I read where they were like, you can hear this band take a leap on the album, and that's really fun to listen to. Like, as a fan of just like, as a fan of music, but just like really as a fan of like the process of bands' evolutions and stuff, like something I love so much, and again, we've said it a million times, using the studio as an instrument, like you hear all of that on this album. But the last album that I was like, holy fuck, like just nonstop, it was Random Access Memories by Daft Punk. And so like, I think, this album, oh my God, it's just
Random Access Memories, that Daft Punk record turns 5 this year.
I know, isn't that crazy? Remember driving around just nonstop? Remember driving around? We drove
to like Gainesville.
Remember we went to AwesomeCon. We drove to the Metro,
Yes.
And I had a CD with Just Get Lucky on it.
Because they had just released it after.
That was the only thing on it, and we just listened to that all the way there, all the way back. That was like that summer was like Random Access Memories, like just because was that when Man of Steel came out?
Yes.
Like it just that whole summer was just that was the soundtrack.
Yeah.
And this soundtrack to our lives will be a little more Lucifer induced. No, it's
an auditory memento mori.
there you go. It's just it's it's got the super heaviness in there. It's got two beautiful instrumentals with the sax solo, which people seem to be really loving, which they should, because it's just a great kind of like in your face moment. There's a song called Life Eternal, which closes the album, which for real like might just be my favorite Ghost song. I mean, again, I'm still in the honeymoon phase because it came out June 1st. Because I got home from Upgrade and I woke up in the middle of the night and my phone was like, your pre-order has arrived on your phone, and I was like, just like Upgrade technology. Yeah,
take full control.
yeah, and then I stabbed a home intruder with a knife over and over again and cut his head off from the mouth.
But in that situation, you were the home intruder.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He is the home intruder in that one.
Yeah.
Flip it.
Live it.
I love everything about the new Ghost album. I think it's just so much fun to see this band how they evolve, and I think they're just far and away swell. I think they're far and away the most
swell, Clark.
the most interesting thing going on in music. I love masks and all that kind of stuff. But I love like just the showmanship of it, the outfits, this kind of like great story they're telling with all the different papas and the new Cardinal. And yeah, just the music. I mean, it's just symphonic. It's huge, emotional. It's dark, operatic. It's all that stuff. And they're just getting better and better.
Mm-hmm.
You could listen to their albums and they're just getting stronger and stronger with each track. And it's really exciting because it really is like, I think, I think it's their best effort.
I love how clearly like 80s influenced this one is.
Mm-hmm.
Like first showing not right out the bat, but like Dance Macabre.
Yeah.
Like, totally 80s.
Well, I remember that was the second single that came out.
Yeah.
And we were all jamming on that pretty hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
I still am. Or Dance Macabre. I'm still listening.
Yeah. And when Rats came out, it kind of came out of nowhere because like I think it was on Instagram or somewhere, like Ghost had posted something, and they're like, pre-order now and get Rats automatically. And I was like, done.
I didn't even know they were working on a new album, and suddenly they had their first single.
Well, I had heard 2018 because I think they do about every 3 years. Around so is
like
there
the Foo Fighters.
Yeah. Is there new stuff? So I was hoping that was the case, and then here comes this freaking powerhouse album.
Rats.
And it's just I mean, it's fucking great, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's a winner.
And you got 2 great instrumental tracks on this album too.
Yeah. It's just they do everything on this, and they just seem to be having a lot of fun.
Good. Yeah.
Well, how about you, Sam? What craziness you get into?
Well, I tell you what I did. I made this realization. I was like, I don't see, like, for all the rep I get, I probably see the movies in theaters the least out of any of us.
Yeah.
You guys, I think both of you, certainly you, Chris, you guys have me beat in that department.
Yeah. Well, the movie pass helps.
Yeah. But no, what did I do? I went to the beach. I went to Dewey Beach up in Delaware with a friend of the show, Rich, who you can catch on the Bond podcast, which is hopefully coming back soon. Hopefully all the specialty programming comes back soon.
Eventually.
Yeah. But I was originally supposed to record something today that would have been a special episode. But no, so we went to the beach. Lots of alcohol was had because it was a bachelor party and it was a bunch of dudes in a beach house that had 2 copies. Yeah, we had 2 copies of First Night on VHS.
Nothing says stag party like First Night.
Yeah. Give me that Sean Connery and Richard Gere as King Arthur and Lancelot.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who plays Guinevere in that film. I want to say it's Julia Ormond. But at one point we were kind of hammered and somebody put in the Shawshank Redemption. I was like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Oh yeah, you can't do that.
Why are we watching the Shawshank Redemption?
What's the point of drinking that all that alcohol for immediately to get sober within 10 minutes of watching this like super intense movie?
Yeah. You put in. I mean, I was kind of bummed because they didn't have.
Great movie,
It's a great movie,
but not necessarily the one you're like, hey guys, let's get drunk and watch Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
The only other
Shawshank.
one that I would feel like would be worse in the Stephen King category would be The Green Mile.
Yeah, which they also had on VHS. It was nothing.
Was
but
that a double VHS?
Green Mile was, but not Shawshank.
Green Mile, yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, that was. They had Heat.
Oh,
I was pushing for Heat.
fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the one. By the time you get to the shootout,
Yeah.
you're just all in.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, shoot that mother. You're cheering for both sides.
Yeah.
Is that one of the only shootouts you could think of where you're cheering for both sides?
I just let it wash over me because it just.
Well,
pulls
because you love Pacino, but you love De Niro and Kilmer.
I love Pacino more than I love Kilmer and De Niro in that film.
Fair. But I mean, like, such big like icons, and you're like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're not rooting for Tom Sizemore.
Nobody roots for Tom Sizemore. Doesn't root for Tom Sizemore.
No, Heat, man. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
God, I wish they would like.
Brother.
Well, that's what 23 years old.
In '95, yeah.
Fuck. I hope they need to do somewhere around here, like put it back in theaters. I would love to see that movie in theaters.
Maybe.
I got it on Laserdisc. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll call our local theater right now and
Yeah.
tell them, I hope you have a audio-visual input.
Alamo Drafthouse does have a Laserdisc player in their projection booth.
You're the one that added it there, isn't it?
No, it was there before me.
Well,
That's the craziest thing.
If we're
I did try to get a Laserdisc night going, though.
yeah, RoboCop first
happened.
and then Heat.
I got both of them on Laserdisc.
Yeah. Criterion, baby. Bless you.
Isn't this the 30th anniversary of RoboCop?
31st. 87.
87.
Yeah.
That's right.
I
This
know.
is the 88 would be nothing.
Yeah. What is 80?
I don't think it's anything of.
Let me check.
In the meantime,
I mean, there had to be at least one movie that came out in 1988.
They all waited for 89.
yeah, they're like,
That's the year, baby.
we can do better. Maybe I feel like Goonies was 88.
I've never seen
That's
Goonies.
potential.
So you haven't seen Goonies, you haven't seen Smokey and the Bandit because you're a fan of neither Smokey nor the Bandit.
Oh, Beetlejuice.
Oh.
1988.
There you go. Okay.
Coming to America. Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Oh, that's right.
Die Hard.
My first memory is
Big
1988.
Rain Man. They Live.
Okay, we get it. 1988
Bull
was a
Durham?
good year for movies, too.
A Nightmare on Elm Street 4. Oh, okay. I read that too fast. Granted, I've never seen 4. Is 4 the one with the ant person? The person
Yes,
who
the
becomes
cockroach.
yeah, sorry, the cockroach.
La Cucaracha.
I came in when Chris was. I came in when Rambo 3. I came in when Chris was watching that. This is the last one, Halloween 4.
Oh.
This is- yeah. Just kidding, clean and sober
This
as
is
well.
the end.
But
If
when
only
they have the cockroach death, that's like one of the most still like freaky shits I've ever seen. That's
probably the
well
best
done.
death in that film.
Yeah, I'd never seen that before, and that freaked me out as a 31-year-old walking in, never seen that movie before. I was like, oh fuck! I went home and I googled it and watched it again. I was like, oh.
I just like that they take on Freddy with Kung Fu twice in that movie.
And for some reason, it works the second time.
Yeah. Though that is like the best banishing of Freddy.
Yes.
Speaking of specialty programming, you're up to Dream Child, number 5.
Yeah.
And you're up to, for
RoboCop remake. We're actually gonna wait the full however many years it was,
like 19.
19 years.
Yeah.
Mike and I will be back in 19 years to do RoboCop 2014.
That's how it feels.
Or not 19 years, because RoboCop 3 came out in 91?
93?
93, so it would be...
So 11. No. What am I doing? 21? 21? Yes, the wait
Oh,
could...
so it could actually be 19 years. I
Yeah.
am just like
yeah.
terrible at math.
Yeah.
Just like horrible at math.
Yeah.
What's the worst school? Was the worst school subject for you guys in school?
All. I was a very bad student.
Science.
No, probably math. I remember I took statistics, and I really liked that for some reason. I was like really not really into it, but it wasn't like other.
My god!
Yeah. It wasn't like the other maths.
I think for me it was the social sciences classes. You know, your histories and
English.
Yeah, like those were the ones that I always found that I had the least motivation to even try, let alone succeed in. So yeah,
Okay.
those ones, the boring ones, you know.
Yeah. The ones that I looked forward to.
I mean, you know what's funny is like at their heart, I enjoy the subjects. I just had zero motivation to do any
No
of the
investment.
classwork. Yeah. I lucked out with good math and science teachers. So those I was like better engaged in those classes.
The first half of high school, I had good math teachers. The last half of high school, I did not.
Yeah.
And I only took one math class in college and just got my with Rich actually got my C, and that was it.
Yeah.
I was like, cool, I never have to do this ever again. And then I took the GREs and I was like, oh shit, there's math on this.
Yeah.
This is like high school level math and I'm struggling.
Yeah. And like how you have more of a wordy brain, I have more of a numbers brain. So it works out.
Quantitative outlook.
Yeah. There. You using your words again to describe my brain.
I did score very well on my verbal SATs and GREs.
There you go.
That's what arguably saved my test scores on both of those exams.
I was the last year in Fairfax County, or maybe all of Virginia. It might have been a Virginia state thing, where you were. I was the last year where you were not required to pass your SATs or was it? I think it was the SATs, SOLs. SOLs.
Yeah, the standardized standards of learning.
Yeah, I didn't have to. My year was the last year that you had to, or the last year where you did not have to pass your SOLs in order to graduate high school.
I had to pass a certain amount. I actually passed all my SOLs, even chemistry.
I mean, I would have been fine, but like the requirement wasn't there.
Yeah, that because my chemistry teacher was so fucking bad.
Your chemical non-romance?
Sure.
I hope it wasn't a romance.
It was not a romance. She was like, if you pass the SOLs, I will increase your final grade by half a letter grade, and if you pass advanced proficient, which was like, yeah, you'll within the 90th percentile, I'll raise it by a full letter grade.
Ooh.
I would have had a C, maybe C plus. I got a B in chemistry because I did well enough in my SOLs. I still don't know what moles are, like how to calculate molar mass.
Oh, I was about to say they're a creature that that burrows
Subterranean. Yeah.
Superman fought them.
Actually, no, he fights in their defense in Superman Meets the Mole Men.
Maybe in Superman Meets the Mole Men. There could very well be multiple encounters with several mole men in Superman's. He's been around for a while.
The first Fantastic Four villain is Mole Man.
No. I knew that there was some villain named Mole Man.
The final villain in the first Incredibles film, voiced by John Ratzenberger, is the Underminer, who's basically Mole Man.
The Underminer.
There's two movies. Like I'm aware there's a Jurassic Park, there's an Oceans, there's a other things that come out this month. The only movies that I'm really excited about, and really the one that I'm excited about the most, is Incredibles 2. That's really it. I'll probably see Sicario. I'll probably see Jurassic Park, but I probably won't see it opening weekend.
Yeah, I'm super excited for Sicario, Mission Impossible, and Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Well, those are both Julys.
I know, but those are like the three upcoming ones.
Yeah. Those are for me it's Incredibles, Ant-Man, and Mission.
There's a smaller release that's coming out within the next 2 or 3 weeks that I keep forgetting about, but whenever I see like an
Hotel
ad,
Artemis.
Yes, Hotel Artemis. Oh,
that comes out tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Ha! I might not go watch the Caps game.
There you go.
It looks so good, and it's got Bautista in it.
It does.
Jodie Foster.
Yep.
Charlie Day.
Yep.
Sophia Boutella.
Yeah. Is Jeff Goldblum in it too?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Huge cast.
Yeah.
Which could be the touch of death.
It's reviewing better than Jurassic Park: Fallen Kingdom.
There you go.
So I don't know. I want I want to be excited for Jurassic Park because that was the first PG-13 movie I ever owned. Was the first one, like on VHS.
That was the first DVD I ever bought.
What was the first DVD I ever bought? Matrix.
I only know because we made a big deal out of it because my dad bought a DVD player for the family for Christmas.
Yeah.
And then he let me pick out a DVD for every member of the family.
Mine, my first DVD was The Matrix because I'd seen at a friend's house somebody watch The Matrix on DVD, and I just thought like Scene Select was the coolest fucking thing. And yes, I'm aware you can do it on like Laserdisc, but the
I was planning on saying it.
Yeah.
So good on you.
Yeah, but I remember like when we got the DVD player in like 2002, I was like, this is the movie that you get a fucking DVD player for. And yours was Jaws the Revenge.
Jaws for the Revenge, but just like I say my first concert was a Christian rock concert. My real first concert was Paul McCartney. My real first DVD was the first Jaws.
That was the first movie that I tried to watch in surround sound when we first got a surround sound system, until I found out that the DVD is mastered in 2.0 audio. Which took about half the movie.
We didn't have an actual DVD player for Jaws for the Revenge. I just used the computer. That was what we used for the longest time, was that.
Oh, for the longest time.
Mm-hmm. That was indeed the longest time.
Yeah.
Me and my sustained O's.
Yeah, I was watching the wavelengths
Yeah.
on that one. I was like, that's what that looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm trying to think what the mother cocking fuck was that I just mixed up all those nouns at once. There
was a verb in there.
Yes.
I know a gerund when I hear one.
The interesting thing about fuck is it's like you can make it a noun, you can make it a verb, you can make it an adverb, you can make it a...
I have a John Cleese skit about that.
Oh, is there?
I think I also thought there was a George Carlin thing about it.
Yeah. They both yes, George Carlin for sure. I'm pretty sure the one that I know is John Cleese. It could just be a British guy, and they all sound the same to these American ears because it has been a good 15 years since I've heard it.
Now, here's a question, Chris. I don't know if you'll necessarily be able to contribute, but
who knows?
What was the first movie you got digitally? For me, are we counting voodoo codes, or are we freeballing it?
You came up with a question.
Yeah.
If we're counting voodoo codes, it was the first one I redeemed was Moneyball. If we're not counting voodoo codes, the first one I bought, and you were there, was Dick Tracy.
Oh yeah, I think, and I'm trying my best to remember because I don't have a memory like Samuel. I think the first digital non-voodoo thing. But it was something you would I think it was through iTunes. I want to say it was Rambo 4. Oh. My first voodoo code. Well, this is funny. I think the first thing I bought with a voodoo code, and I actually gave you the voodoo code. So technically, I never used that voodoo code, was Jack Reacher. Because
if you redeemed, which I did,
yeah.
I got Days of Thunder.
Oh, really? Because I really wanted Jack Reacher. I think it came with DVD and Blu-ray or something like that. And at the time, I didn't even have a Blu-ray player. I don't remember. All I remember was I really wanted it on DVD, and I was like, here, Sam, you can have the voodoo code. Yeah. But in terms of voodoo code, the first voodoo code I used on my account was Man of Steel.
Okay. The first movie that I can recall without going deep into my mind palace to check. No, the first time I remember ever officially buying or redeeming a code or anything like that was when I bought the Blu-rays of Back to the Future trilogy, and you could get all three of them on through Apple iTunes.
Yeah.
So there.
You never did successfully redeem Bone Hawk Tomahawk.
No,
did you?
well, because that was that time when you would get it at Walmart, and then it was an instantaneous thing. Remember, wasn't there something weird they did with it? And
it'd be in
you had
24 hours.
Yeah, you had to link something, and I thought I did, and it never did. And then the receipt, and I just was like, oh well. I have it on Blu-ray, I think, so I'll watch it. I heard it's really good. It's got two of my all-time faves in it, Patrick Wilson, and I think Patrick Wilson's in it,
Yes.
and Kurt Russell.
Yes.
So I'll have to watch it eventually. And what's it? It's actually called Bone Tomahawk,
Yes.
and I called it Bonehawk Tomahawk.
For like a while.
I know, yeah. Oh man. Well, Sam and I used to do this thing when we lived together, where we would go to like Walmart and just scour for voodoo codes. Remember that? Like,
dude,
it was
yeah.
psycho. We would be like voodoo codes.
it was like there was the bargain bin of like really cheap fucking Blu-rays.
And we would just go through it, and there's like 4 titles in there, and we kept going through like there was more than 4. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Yeah.
it'd be like, oh look, there's this. There's this.
You would constantly find like the CGI like Ninja Turtles movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah. And we would kind of throw it out. It's like, do we want to do this? Nah. Does this one come with a digital redemption code? Nah.
Yeah. And then the poor person who was
founder.
working,
The founder.
the poor person who was working back there had to listen to us review like every fucking movie we saw. We're like, remember this? Now it was this. Blah blah blah. But I think we
Those
stopped.
halcyon days where we lived together.
Yeah. I think we stopped because like when I got Bone Tomahawk, like
You were so annoyed.
Well, it was like that new system which I didn't like. I was like, I just like putting in the code, and then I got the Invisible Man Blu-ray with the wonderful Steelbook Alex Ross covers,
Yeah.
and it had the Movies Anywhere app, and I put in the code, and at the time, maybe it's because it was on my phone or whatever, it wouldn't let me. I thought it would go on my Vudu, and it didn't. So I was like, great, now I have it digitally on Movies Anywhere, but not Vudu.
Yeah.
And then my friend gave me her code for Call Me by Your Name. And when it was a Movies Anywhere one, when I did it on my computer, I was able to link,
You know what?
and that's where I got a couple. Like I got Ice Age and the extended recent Ghostbusters movie automatically.
I got Ice Age when I synced up with Movies Anywhere. You know what the Call Me by Your Name director is directing next?
Suspiria.
Yes.
Suspiria.
It's a good trailer.
Oh, great trailer! I'm very
Yeah.
excited for it.
Yeah. I'm looking for. I mean, it's a good. What happened to horror?
There's some fucking big time horror stuff coming
Like
out,
horror
man.
for like 10 years, maybe 20.
New metal happened to
Yeah, that's about right. Well, no, if you talk to Tyler Shaneline, who will probably get on the show to talk the beef trade,
Yep.
as I stare at his signed copy of #1 I got for Chris in Seattle.
Mhm.
He was just like the 90s were like the worst decade for horror, man. Like there was just nothing fucking good in the 90s. And I was like, well, there's
That is-
Scream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
Army of Darkness, but it's not. That's not really horror.
That's horror. It's about as horror as Ghost is Metal.
I
Hot
guess.
take.
I guess.
Lukewarm take.
Yeah. Luke Dane's take.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
I know, yeah. But the
Dame Judi Dench take.
yeah.
Yeah.
You got to switch. We didn't talk about that last week.
That's true. I've had it for like 2 weeks now, and I haven't mentioned it on the show. I got to switch.
Any games?
We bought a zoo. I have.
We bought a zoo.
Yeah, the movie, the game.
Yeah.
No, I have
The tie-in game that came out 8 years later.
Yeah.
That movie's 8 years old.
Did it come out in 2010?
I don't know. I'm just. I trust you, but like
I'm trusting
Jesus,
you.
that was my favorite movie that year, for real. I fucking love that movie. I cried so many times. I think I saw it 3 times in the theaters. I took our buddy TJ to see it. I was like, so fuck. I loved it.
Did you make him cry?
I didn't make him cry. I think the movie. I don't know.
Let's get him on the phone. Did you cry?
Hey TJ, come on in here.
Yeah.
Hey, losers.
Yeah.
But yeah. I when I bought it, I picked up Mario Kart 8.
Deluxe.
Yeah, Delu. And then I also digitally purchased. What the hell is it? It's got a funky name, but it's a rhythm game. It's really fun. But yeah, it's a rhythm and sports game. So it's made by Harmonix, the same guys that did Guitar Hero, and basically like they have different like categories of games that you can play that are based on different sports like tennis, golf, hockey, and stuff like that. And basically you have a ball being thrown at you and you have to hit it back in time with the song. It's sorry. We had ice cream, so I'm being very burpy. And I'm trying to lean away from the microphone in time, but it's not working.
We went to Iron Ice, which was kind of like this. I don't even know how it's not. It's like made from a waffle iron, but it's not. It's like if somebody made.
It's called like puffle.
Yeah,
That's what they call it.
if somebody made like a fucking the pop thing, the bubble wrap.
Bubble wrap. Yeah, it does. You're right. It does look like bubble wrap.
Yeah,
but like in waffle form.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it.
And interesting combinations of toppings.
Yes. Next time I'm gonna get something with the what do they call those like fruit balls?
Fruit balls.
The boba balls?
Is it boba or maki or something like that or mochi?
Mochi?
Is it mochi?
Maybe. That sounds. I mean, I've heard that before. I've heard
Okay.
that word before. You could have been like grasshopper. Yeah, grasshopper. I've heard that word before.
I've heard grasshopper.
Just say it with confidence.
Yeah. I don't even think I said
You know,
it
bocce,
confident.
right?
Yeah, bocce balls.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing you throw on lawns in
Yeah.
France. It's pétanque actually.
Oh.
Yeah. Also, they had the iced the cool drinks in like IV bags.
I don't remember seeing those last time I went. I mean, I've only ever been there twice, but I don't remember
Now
seeing
3
those last time.
times.
Oh,
Thrice, if I may.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't remember seeing those last time.
You know, Will Maxwell Prince is a fan of Thrice.
Next
Next time we get him on the show, maybe to talk about the ice cream man trade. Oh my God, ice cream everywhere.
All day, day.
Yeah, we should take Will Maxwell Prince to Iron Ice.
We should.
Yeah, I'll call him from Brooklyn right now.
Yeah. Come on down. I know it's just a 5-hour drive.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Be worth it.
I'm looking forward to seeing him at like New York Comic Con. You're gonna, we're about a month away from you going to San Diego again, you son of a bitch.
Oh, yeah, boy.
Anything you're looking forward to other than seeing the fine, lovely folks at Image? Once again, friend of the show, Corey.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot of... We were buddies with a lot of those guys.
Seeing them...
Any locales, foodstuffs?
We've done that thing, I guess, the last 2 times. We went to that one, like... Mexican food burrito place.
Right next to Petco Park.
That was really cool. We go to that one hotel the last night to grab drinks on that outside patio, which was fun.
The Omni.
Yeah. I like San Diego a lot.
It's a great city.
This will be the, 3rd time?
Fourth for
Fourth
you.
time?
For you.
For you.
You're
no,
a big guy. For you.
You know, it's a crazy freaking show.
It's my favorite show.
But it's crazy. But I enjoy seeing everybody and the nightlife aspect of it.
Oh yeah, rooftop
Once
parties.
the show's over, going out and just having fun.
Yeah.
And just being out.
We actually got in the pool last year, which was nice.
Oh, I finished. I was reading Punisher Max by the pool. I watched my children play.
Oh,
in the
that's
pool.
right. Yeah.
I was like, no. No pool for me. No. I'm going to read Punisher Max.
I went to the desert that year.
That's right. That's where we met. That was okay. That makes sense. I can't remember anything. But yeah, I remember meeting you in the airport.
That's right. I was channeling Matthew McConaughey's Man in Black from The Dark Tower because nobody knew that movie sucked yet.
Did you ever see it?
No. Every now and again I see it for sale on Vudu, but unlike The Founder, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
So I don't. Have you ever? Did you see The Dark Tower?
No.
Okay.
I read I read the first book.
The good one.
Out of order. By read, I mean I listened to the book on tape, but the tracks got jumbled up, and I thought that it was just a weird way of writing it because I was like, whatever, it's Stephen King doing a fantasy novel. He barely writes linearly to begin with. Maybe it's all kinds of fucked up. And then about like 2/3 of the way through the book, I realized, oh no, it's just on shuffle or something like that for some reason.
Horrible way to read a novel.
Yeah, right. And then I tried listening to the second one, and I just couldn't get into it. Some weird thing with doors on beaches.
Second one is, and the first thing that happens to Roland in the second one is he loses part of his hand and part of his foot to lobster monsters.
How many books are there in the series again?
Like 14? No. Not that
7
many.
main, 1 spin-off, and like 3 graphic novels.
Oh, so the graphic novels are not just adaptations?
There
they're
are
add-ons?
adaptations, but there's also there's also ones that take place in between.
Sick.
I actually have a first edition paperback of The Gunslinger. Not first edition.
Slinging guns.
It's the good one. It's the good one. In the third one, he fights a robot bear monster.
Ooh.
I'll have to read these.
You're not selling me.
What are you currently reading?
I am reading very, very, very slowly the new Jack Reacher book.
Oh, the one that you picked up from the supermarket like
Picked
an
up
old
from the
man.
supermarket, like the old man. I was picking up stuff for the supermarket. Yeah, and I passed by the book section. I was like, and I saw the Jack Reacher book. I was like, and I was like reading the back, and I was like, yep. And I just put it in.
Did you push up your reading glasses?
Yep. I did the thing where I got like close and really far away.
Yeah.
I was like, Yeah. And then I did the thing where I read it I read it like kind of out loud. So I was like, Jack Reacher goes West Point class ring and kicks ass. Okay. I mean I am a sporadic Jack Reacher reader because I'm a terrible fucking reader of novels. And super slow and in the middle of like a million because I'm an idiot. But I really have enjoyed the Killing Floor and One Shot. One Shot is what the first movie was based on. Killing Floor is the first one in the series. I'm horrible. Hang on, let me look to give it just props what that's actually called because I'm a fucking idiot. Hang on a second. But yeah, I really like that. And that first Jack Reacher. Funny we talked about the Voodoo Codes. I really love that first movie, man. Because what that character is like he's just unapologetically badass. I love that. Hang on one second. Jack Reacher.
You reading anything, Chris?
Novel.
I'm sort of about halfway through this book called Stealing Faces, which I can't remember exactly how I heard about it. I think it was advertised on one of my like true crime podcasts. But it's about this. It kind of follows this serial killer who, in a very the most dangerous game sort of way, abducts young women and then like sets them loose in like a forest or the desert or whatever and hunts them until he catches them and then he like rips their faces off. So it sounded really cool, but I'm struggling to get through it because that's not the focus of the story. Sure. Like I was kind of hoping that much like the most dangerous game or the comedy version of it, The Pest, it would be following like one of his victims directly, but the story that they chose to go with is someone who has escaped the serial killer coming back to confront them in the most like awkward, like stumbling sort of way possible, and so I'm losing interest in it. I haven't read for like 2 weeks from it. I've still got like 9 hours left in the audiobook, and I'm like, how is there more story? Like the core concept is really interesting. And then like I have some theories about what their actual relationship is, which if it pans out the way that I am, guessing, might be interesting once we get to like the third act of the story, but like it's just kind of a struggle getting to that point.
A Midnight Line is the name of the Jack Reacher novel.
Oh!
Yep. So, enjoy it.
Cool. Do you ever think, first off,
Yeah.
so Conan Exile sucks?
Oh, man. Are we trying to end this thing anytime soon? Because I have a million things I could say about that. It's, look.
We're only at like 40 minutes.
I'm a fan. Go. Obviously, we've talked. It's cool. We've got to talk to a couple artists and writers and stuff about the impact of Conan the Barbarian on just pop culture and stuff.
That have worked on it.
Yeah, which is really cool. Yeah, we've had a couple that worked on it and just other people who've really been inspired by it. I love that character, and I love the world and everything. So, excuse me, I feel like Chris burping here. When
yeah,
we all had the weird bubble wrap.
That's right. But
the waffly bubble wrap.
And I love the open world stuff. And so you put them together. There are parts I really love, and there's other parts that are so fucking frustrating and really difficult. I total love-hate relationship with that game. I love the opening cinematic, and I love when Conan saves you in the beginning. And he's like basically like, "Hey, we'll see each other again." I'm like, "Where is he? I just want to hang out with Conan." But it's cool because you got to cut trees down and stones and skin animal furs and all that to make armor in your house and all this other kind of stuff. But it's super difficult, or I'm terrible. Either one. But man, it is fucking. It's super frustrating. There's a Conan game they did on the Xbox 360. I think just called Conan. That's like third person. That game's a lot of fun.
I finally started playing Lego Marvel Superheroes.
Oh, okay. Is that the most? There's like
not
seems like
two,
there's so many,
and not Avengers. The one from like 5 years ago.
Oh, okay. Because I have the first Avengers one, I think, for Lego. That might have been the last Xbox 360 game I ever bought. I don't know. Whatever. There's so many, but okay. Go ahead. Yeah, superheroes.
I mean, it's Lego. It's superheroes.
Okay, good.
You can be everything.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
good.
Good. There was something I was going to mention about. Well, I remember mentioning the Conan Exiles because I knew you had frustrations.
Yeah, man. Here's the thing. Okay, so you make like a bed. Like one of the earliest things you make to make a save point is a bedroll. It's really easy to make with like plant fiber and stuff. You make it whenever you die, you're spawned there. Here's the thing, though. So you make your house. I put a bedroll in it immediately, so I have a save point. You spend this time making like light armor. You have to make padding and then the armor on top of it. So it takes a bit. You go out to explore, right? You come across somebody who can kick your ass really easily. You can't get away in time. You die. You respawn in your house, fine, but you've lost everything unless you put it in like a box. So like you're not going to make 2 sets of armor. But then you can go back to your dead body and loot yourself. But if you're halfway across the map, dead, you're not gonna run all the way back there with no armor and no weapons. You have to sit there and remake everything. By the time you remake everything, you're like, okay, it's just that part really kind of fucking bums me out because it's like I want to go explore stuff, but like you can kill like lower tier people, but then if you come across a camp or come across some new creature or something like that, you're fucked. And that happened to me. Like I was doing really well. I made this armor, all this stuff, and then I came across this guy with the spear way too quick, and I couldn't get out of the way. And then the radial menu hit the wrong thing, and I was trying to back up, and he killed me. And I respawned in my house with just my loincloth. And I had saved stuff, but my armor and weapons and tools were all gone because they were on my dead body halfway across the map. And I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stop playing this for like a while until I'm like okay with basically redoing everything.
But as an addendum to last week's episode, you still haven't gotten Dead by Daylight.
No, because I went on to the marketplace. One of them was still $40, and the other one was probably close to that. And I was like, I'm good because honestly, I'm not a huge fan. Like, probably one of the reasons I am not enjoying Conan Exiles maybe is because I'm playing it just single player offline. Like, I don't want to have the possibility of ever, I guess you could team up with people and it could be more exciting maybe that way. But I kind of like still the old school, just playing offline by doing your own thing. Unless you're doing like I enjoy the Call of Duty and Battlefront games and stuff, the first person shooters and stuff. But yeah, I wasn't just I was like, you know what, I'm not ready to jump into that shit for that price. Plus I don't have a headset or anything to like communicate with anybody. So
I mean, when I play it, I don't use a headset.
Oh. It's gotta be difficult to team up, to make team things.
Well, in Dead by Daylight, there's no team communication.
Oh, there's not? Okay.
No.
That's fine.
I would recommend using a headset because there are like subtle noises, but if you got good speakers, then you're
That's
fine.
fair. I mean, like you said, yeah, definitely one day, but when I saw the price, I was like, yeah, I'll wait. Because I got Conan Exiles. And then like one day I was like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. And then the next day I was like, this fucking sucks. And then the next day I was like, it still fucking sucks.
So it's like the worst relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. As you two gents know, there is a little TV show that until today's official announcement was only available in Canada, except by nefarious means. Because I've watched the entire series so far, called Letterkenny.
What is that?
It is.
I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
It is a TV show from Canada. No, it's a comedy show about this small town in Canada called Letterkenny, where there's just a whole lot of quirky people. It's very funny.
So it's like Erie, Indiana.
Yeah, it's like a Canadian Erie, Indiana. But not that quirky. But yeah, full of characters. It started out as YouTube shorts called Letterkenny Problems, and then I guess got picked up by this Canadian streaming service. They've had 4 seasons so far. Each one's only like 6 episodes long, so you can watch it in a day if you find them. But Hulu just announced that they are picking up U.S. distribution rights for it, and I think it's by the end of July. The first 2 seasons will be available on Hulu, so I highly recommend everyone that has a Hulu account to check that out, preferably watch all 2 seasons of it, so it shows Hulu that there is a big demand for it, so they rush the later seasons, because there's 4 now. They just announced the 5th one is going to be released right around the same time that those 2 seasons are released on Hulu here in America. In the States, if I may be more specific, because it always bothers me when people say America to represent the United States, because America is a lot more than just that. Anyway, that's not related to Letterkenny at all, but it's very funny, full of a lot of like quick dialogue, quick back and forth, very witty writing, and it's just the most. What you would think would be mundane scenes are just so heightened by just the chemistry that all the actors have with each other, and simple camera movements that make the scene feel alive, with just like a hint of a little dash of artistry. But yeah, very funny. Check it out. Check out Letterkenny Problems on YouTube, because you can watch that no matter what country you're in, as far as I'm aware. And that'll give you a little hint as to what the show is about.
Okay.
Not a paid advertisement for either Hulu or Letterkenny.
Yeah, we don't get that. We don't get Canadian dollars.
No. And who would want them?
Though, actually, now that I think about it, CBR the parent company to CBR is Canadian.
Oh, well, maybe you can get some Letterkenny through them. I don't know why. Maybe you can write an article about them getting on Hulu.
Yeah. Lord knows I write about everything else.
Yeah, right.
Jake can verify.
I'm amazed. I'm amazed that you didn't know that before I said it.
Yeah. I mean, my God,
what was it, like last week? I brought up like 3 things, and you were like, "Yeah, I wrote an article about that. It's coming out next week or whatever."
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
and I was like, "Shit! I thought I was breaking news."
I'm pretty prolific. I've always been a fast writer, not necessarily a good one, but good enough where people, I guess, read it. But yeah, no, I crank out shit quite regularly for CBR. I guess by the time this thing posts, I'll be getting ready to go to Heroes in Charlotte, and I got a press pass with CBR for that. So that should be cool. You might see some familiar faces show up on the website, and some familiar faces show up on the show.
Whoa.
I know, wild, yeah. There's a couple people I've got my eye on that have been on the show before that I would love to get back, including friend of the show, Kyle Starks.
Mm.
That would mean he gets the much heralded surprise pack. It's not a surprise to us. We know exactly what's going in there.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. Yeah, you guys got anything else?
No.
I think I'm tapped out.
Good. Let me tap this.
Woo! Tap that.
It's been another installment of Catching Up. I'm Sam.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jake. Thank you very much.
This has been another Geek Out production. If you enjoyed what you heard, hey, we've got a special episode every Friday. Of course, there's the usual Catching Up show every Wednesday. And you get book club episodes just about every Tuesday these days. Thanks for listening.